hope you're all well. Today I'm going to talk about my reaction when I found out that I was pregnant with this baby. It's nothing bad, like nothing alarming. It's something that I didn't expect to feel like, and I ended up Googling loads and didn't really come back with much. I've just written a blog post about it and so many people are saying, yep, I felt the same, or I feel the same now, or I'm worried I'm going to feel like this. And yeah, so I just thought I'd do a video about it too and see what you guys think. So even though we planned to have another baby, it was always in the plan that we would have at least one more baby. We knew we were trying, you know, we'd said any time from now would be a wonderful time to have a baby, and now came very quickly. I'd already done a test because I thought I was pregnant. I'd missed my period and it came back negative. So it was obviously just too soon. And then I did another test a couple of weeks later, but I just kind of thought, well, I've already done a test, it was negative, so it was kind of out of my mind. And when the first one was negative, I kind of thought, well, that's good, it means I can just focus more on Jasper, give all my attention to him, just enjoy being his mum, Reese's stepmum, for a while longer, and when it happens, it happens. So I'd kind of not gotten the idea of having another baby out of my head at all. We still wanted to have another one, we were still trying, but I just got the thought that I was pregnant out of my mind. But I thought, I'm still late on my period, quite late, so I'd do another test. And I don't know, when I did it and I saw that I was pregnant, it all made sense, and I thought it was obviously too early before. I was overwhelmed, really happy, really excited. And then it just hit me, and I just kind of felt this like overwhelming sense of guilt for Jasper. Like, that's all I could think of. I was so happy, so excited, knew it was amazing, knew it was what we wanted, but all I could think of was, what about Jasper? How's he gonna feel? How am I gonna feel, like, about Jasper's feelings? So I'll run through what I mean. A lot of people said to me, don't worry about it, you'll have enough love for both of them, for all three of them. And I thought, well, that's nice, like, you know, thanks for giving me that advice, but I never ever worried about not having enough love. Like, I know that I love Jasper more than I possibly could ever, like, there's no more love to give Jasper. So I can understand why people think, like, how can I have enough room for another child? But I just always thought, like, you just do. Like, you'll just have enough love for them. So that was never my concern. My concern was, how's Jasper going to react? How's he going to feel when I'm too pregnant to roll around on the floor and play with him, or when I'm feeling too sick that I can't carry him down the stairs and, you know, just I'm not able to be the mum that I am now to him. And I know that there are times when I'm sick, like just normally sick, and I can't do that. Or there are times when I'm tired, or I've hurt my leg or something and I can't pick him up. But those are things that are out of my control. Whereas my whole kind of thought process of this is, I've chosen to have another baby. I've chosen to be pregnant. I put myself in a situation where I might not possibly be able to be the best mum to Jasper. And that is, for me, what makes me really upset. So things like, you know, what if I suddenly have to go to hospital because, I don't know, preeclampsia or something like that. Something that, you know, can be very common for women, and I have to go in and stay overnight for a few nights. I've been away, I went to Sweden for 4 nights recently, completely my choice. Did feel bad about it, but not that bad because it was just a holiday. But this is more because it's because of another child, you know? Like, what if when I go into labour, I have to stay in for a few nights, or I have a C-section and I can't pick Jasper up? What if I die in labour? And I know it's morbid and it's an awful thing to think, but it happens. And then what, like, for me, like, this is probably the worst one. They're not as bad after this. What if Jasper loses his mum because I was being selfish? And I know it's not a selfish thing when you really think about it, but this is kind of my, like, irrational thought at the moment. What if Jasper loses his mum because I was being selfish and wanted another child? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I wasn't happy enough just to have him, which of course I am. But I just thought, you know, what if in 30 years he thinks, oh, well, I'd still have my mum, she didn't want to have another baby. And I know it's stupid because that's not going to happen. But, yeah, that's what's been going through my mind. And then things like, you know, sorry, Jasper, we can't go to the park right now because the new baby needs to sleep. Or I can't pick you up at the moment, I'm feeding the baby. you know, what if he just gets fed up of asking me, you know, Mummy, can you help me, can you help me, can you play with me? Because I'm constantly saying, oh, in a minute, and then forgetting about it. And I know he's going to have jealousy, he's going to have, you know, he's going to be upset, he's going to think, oh, why Grandma and Grandad coming around and seeing this baby? Of course they're going to see him as well, but, you know, why is it about this baby now as well? And when's this baby going to go home? Where's this baby's mama? I don't know. I feel like he's going to get to a point where he's going to think, all right, I'm done now. Take the baby back. And that's what worries me. And, you know, having to share and, you know, not being able to take him. I take him swimming on a Tuesday and baby gym on a Monday. And so I just worry that he's not going to be able to do everything that he was doing before. And I know realistically there are going to be days that he can't. But yeah, just not being able to take him to his baby gym and swimming, and when he wants to do things, I'm very much used to, well, it's just me and him, so as long as I've not got work to do or I'm not feeling unwell, we just do it. And obviously he's getting older, so he's starting to tell me what he wants to do rather than me just deciding, and yeah. But I know that's it, that's, you know, there are highs and there are lows, and of course the highs massively outweigh the lows, and I've had so much reassurance from people, and it's all stuff that I know, like, I know it's going to be okay, otherwise people wouldn't have more than one child. I know that realistically, yeah, there are going to be times that he gets jealous and upset, and that I'm going to hate myself for making him feel that way. But then seeing him as a big brother and seeing him sharing and getting the baby things and helping me, like, I don't know, if I'm changing the baby's nappy or getting them dressed, and he can help and be like the big grown-up helper, and watching him give kisses and cuddles, because he loves babies, he really does. It's not at all about, you know, him not liking being around other children. He's great at sharing with Reese, like he adores Reese being there. It's just, obviously Reese is there at the weekend, and then he gets me and Pete all week to himself, and that's kind of my concern, that not only that he's going to have to share me like Monday to Friday, or now it's going to be 24/7, but there are going to be times that it affects him. You know, at the weekend, me and Pete are both here. It's very rare that we have to say to Jasper, no, you have to wait because of Reese. And the same with Reese. We never really have to, you know, he can't, there's never a time that he can't do what he wants to do because of Jasper. But I know that with 3 kids at the weekend, it's going to be more difficult, and the boys are going to have to be more patient. And I don't worry about Reese because he's got a younger brother. You know, he's so good at being a big brother. Of course, he was only 1 when Jasper came around, so this might be different for him because he's more aware of it now. And yeah, I don't know. He does get quite possessive actually, so he might find it hard if Pete's holding the baby, but he sees Pete holding Jasper and it's fine. But yeah, so that was my big thing. I remember literally crying myself to sleep the night that we found out, and I feel awful to say that. And Pete was just like, it's fine, you're being silly. But I felt so guilty. I've never felt mum guilt like it. And I just felt so worried. And I knew in my head, I said to Pete, I know I'm being crazy. I know it's irrational. Like, I know there's nothing I can do. Some of it's going to happen, some of it's not going to happen. But I said, I just feel awful. I don't want to change anything. I don't regret anything. But I just thought, is it too soon? Is Jasper old enough? How's he going to cope? And it's just been so overwhelming. But it's meant that I spend as much time with Jasper as I can now, which I always have done. But, you know, rather than thinking, oh, I'll just quickly do a bit of work while he plays, I thought, no, I'm going to play with him, and I try and do more activities with him and just cherish the moments a bit more than I usually do, because I know it's going to be difficult and it's going to be time consuming and my attention is going to have to be halved. So yeah, that's how I felt. If you felt the same, please do comment below. If you felt differently, if you feel like you might feel the same, anything, just let me know, because it's so reassuring to hear from other people. And yeah, or, you know, if this can even help someone else that has been feeling like it but too worried to say anything. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit it, that I am shitting myself about having another baby and how I'm going to manage my time and all of that stuff. I'll probably do another video on that later, like practical or like physical concerns to having more than 1 child on my own during the week. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think if you have any advice, and please don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.